Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with the winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the
Cinco de Mayo.
exactly version of today in sports betting. For those of you that only do a shot when we say it, it is also hump day. But yeah, Cinco de Mayo. We want to bury the lead. It's today in sports betting, everybody. It's Scott Reichel. It's the NBA. Scott Steen, you know the drill. So yeah, let's talk a little basketball. We've got a bunch of games on tonight. Scott got one on TV. What's going on? Is it the Producers Guild Awards, or what are we doing here?
I hope they save the best for last, though, for the one game that's going to be on TV.
Yeah, they didn't. So let's get right to it. The one game that's going to be on TV is not the game that should be on TV, because the game that starts at the same time is also the other one we're going to talk about. But the game that's actually on TV is the San Antonio Spurs, everybody's favorite team, against the Utah Jazz. Man, nothing gets you excited like that. Utah, of course, is the favorite. They are a 7-point favorite in this one. Scott, this is fine. It's a fine game. I'm just mad the other one's not on. So what do you got here?
Well, these teams just played each other literally 2 days ago, and the Jazz won by 11 at home. It's an immediate rematch. Jazz have won each of the first two meetings this season by at least 11 points. They won the first meeting a while back by 21. You look at the Spurs, and they're half resting people half the time, and they're kind of just going through the motions right now. But Utah at home, 28-4. I think that kind of speaks for itself. Now, as for the actual matchup in particular, the Spurs have no answers for Gobert. Gobert has killed this team in both meetings that they've had. I think the first meeting he had 6 blocks. Second meeting he had 24 and 15 with 3 blocks. Bogdanovic was great against him in the last game. I know Mike Conley has not played in the last few games for Utah, but it really hasn't seemed to matter because Utah is undefeated in those games without Conley. The spread in this one is 7. Actually, I don't know if they're undefeated because I think he didn't play against the Suns as well, so I take it back, but they are 2-1 without Conley. But still, at the end of the day, I just think Utah's the better team, and they're phenomenal at home. Spurs occasionally rest DeRozan and company, so I think 7's too low. Utah's killed this team. I got to go with the Jazz or pass.
Well, let me ask you a question, Scott. Does it bother you that they've only covered 4 of their last 12 games?
No.
Does it bother you that they are 1-5 at home against the number over their last 6?
And who did they beat in the one game that they covered?
Let me look that up. Hang on. They beat San Antonio.
Correct. So
That's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, you can go through all the recent numbers and talk about the trends and stuff like that.
Right.
San Antonio.
That's kind of what we do.
Yeah, but San Antonio has offered no resistance to this team in both meetings.
Okay.
And
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it may not be quite as slam dunky as you portray it.
I'm not saying that it's slam dunky. I'm just saying if you look at the matchup here, Utah's dominated. Spurs have lost 4 in a row. A couple of brutal games in there. You lose to Miami by 5. You play Boston, you blow a 32-point lead. You're up 29 at the half. Tatum goes for 60. You lose in overtime. Then you bench half your players. You come from behind against Philly, and you lose in overtime on a Ben Simmons tip-in buzzer beater.
Covered.
And yep, they did cover. And then you end up losing the game after against Utah by 11 and only scored 99 points in the process. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Popovich is an all-time great coach. I also know the roster isn't insanely talented. I just don't think this team is very good. And I'm going to go with Utah.
All right. You know what?
You can take San Antonio if you want the points. I just think 7's too low.
Can I do that? So is that okay?
You're allowed to if you want to.
I appreciate it. This is a San Antonio team that played pretty well in the second half. They held Utah to 50 points. They outscored them by 6. They really just kind of got beat in the first half and put up 43 points. That's going to lose you a lot of games. I think this is a team that's figured it out. You know what? I'll ride the trend. Give me San Antonio in this 7.
Now, define figured it out because they have lost 4 in a row.
Well, they put up 56 points versus 43, so I think they figured something out offensively, and were able to, like I said, they were able to win the second half there against this Utah squad.
Okay.
All right. And yeah, they covered 7 of 10. They're a lock, Scott.
Yeah, I just think that it's weird that a team that has beaten this team, the opposition by at least 11 in both meetings, is only laying 7 at home.
Freaky things happen on the second end of the back-to-back.
That is true.
You know how that works.
Yep.
I'm counting on that. This was just a random game. If that game on Monday would have come like 2 weeks ago, I'd probably be all over the Jazz here. But I think it's a situation where freaky things happen. I'll take the freaky things. Give me the 7.
Okay.
All right, now let's talk about the game that we actually should be watching on TV, Scott. And that's the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets. Much better game, wouldn't you agree?
Should be. Then again, we both don't exactly think kind things about the Nuggets. So we'll see.
You know, the Nuggets are like a girlfriend that just keeps cheating on you, but you keep calling her back. You know, the Nuggets are hot. They're a good team. Jokic is probably going to win MVP. There's a lot to like about this team. But yet, Scott, you and I seem to be ice cold choosing this team.
We can't figure them out.
Can't figure them out. Knicks, on the other hand, paid my rent last couple months, so I'm pretty proud of the Knicks. Once again, they're a dog, catching 3.5 with the Knicks on the road in Denver. You know, you look at the Knicks; they've been playing really good ball. They've won 13 of 15, I believe is the number there. But
is that winning or covering?
They've won 12 of 13.
Okay.
They've covered all but 3 of those, I believe. But the level of competition, it hasn't been terrible. They beat some good teams in there. They didn't show up against Phoenix.
I can't say they didn't show up. They were up double digits in the first half and then fell apart in the second.
They couldn't close it out against Phoenix. How about that? They fell apart in the second half.
That's fair.
I want to play him here, Scott, just because of trends and because I can't trust this Denver team to cover, but that just seems like a really good number for these Denver Nuggets. I think you would agree with me that the Nuggets are a superior team, right?
It's a good number. I don't care. I'm taking the Knicks.
Can I ask the question? Everybody get their shot glasses ready. Scott, who's going to stop Jokic?
It's a great question. I don't even know if Nerlens Noel is going to play. However,
no, he's questionable.
Yeah, Valanciunas had a bunch of rebounds anyway, and the Knicks still dominated. It's just a matter of, even with Jokic and with Porter, that supporting cast isn't very good. You can go down the line. I know they had a 3-headed monster. Then Murray got injured. I know that they're 9-2 since his injury. But the Lakers really kind of exploited them in the last game. And they looked around and said, who's going to score on this team if we give Jokic some issues? And Porter, don't get me wrong, has had some good games, and he's still a solid player. But who else do they have? They have, like, anybody as a number 3 option?
Well, who else do they need, Scott?
I'm just saying. Like,
how many do you need?
I think you need at least a third guy who can be like a sharpshooter or something off the bench. You need somebody who can give you instant offense. I don't know who can create their own shot on this team besides Jokic and besides Porter.
Well, it's a team that, it's a team where somebody will generally step up,
That's what I'm saying. They need somebody to step up, but I'm asking you, who exactly do you think is the third best offensive player on that team?
Well, I mean, at this point, obviously, you're probably looking at Morris, right? I mean, who are you looking at?
Oh, I'm saying that you can really throw out a bunch of names and none of them sound that good. I mean, hell, you can even throw out really anybody you want. It's just a matter of Paul Millsap, Michael Green.
Right.
It's not pretty.
I mean, and even Barton has stepped up at times.
Yeah, Barton stepped up too, but he can also be ice cold. But yeah, I think Barton.
It's a team that's probably more hot and cold than other teams.
Yeah, I think I'd probably agree with you. I think Barton's probably their third best player offensively. That's a problem. And the Knicks are a very solid defensive team. Now, you can make the same argument about the Knicks and say, besides Julius Randle and Barrett and, who else is their third best player, Derrick Rose is better than whoever Denver's third option is.
Yeah, but their top 2 options are way better than the top 2 options for the Knicks.
That is correct. But at the end of the day, the Knicks are more consistent defensively. And I can't go against a team that's covered, 15 of 16?
Yeah, I know.
Getting points, I mean, I can't. Don't get me wrong, Denver can kill this team. But you mentioned how the Knicks paid your rent money. I'm not going to turn my back on them now.
I know. Yeah, I've got a premium on the total here. For now, I know the Nuggets are going to absolutely screw me no matter what I do.
That is correct. No matter what, if you go against the Nuggets, they're probably going to win, and if you pick the Nuggets, they're probably going to lose. So
I can't quit you. Give me the Nuggets. Jeez, what am I doing? Give me the Nuggets.
And as for the total, it's at around 214, which sounds extremely low based on how the Knicks have played lately, and even Denver's played lately. I don't know if that's an overreaction to the game against the Lakers or not. I'm going to lean over, but that's mostly just because of how both teams are playing, and I think 214 is too low. I think it should be around 217.5, 218.
Okay, very good. We'll write you down for the over. You and I are on different sides of this, although my heart's probably with the Knicks. And to be honest, Scott, I'm going to probably take a lot deeper look at this game, and I may change my mind by game time. I want to see what the number does.
Of course, with Denver being involved, there's no chance I actually want to play this with my own money, but
I know.
I can't go against the Knicks conceptually.
That's hard to argue with. I can't, even though I'm on the other side. It's hard to argue.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to argue my side. I'm a mess. Anything else you want to talk about? Anything else in the NBA before we wrap it up and get to baseball?
Well, I have a couple of huge spreads. I'm probably going to have a play today on one of those games, but looking at the rest of the card, you want only 15 with Philly against Houston?
I don't. I probably want to lay 15 with Philly more than I want to lay 10.5 with Boston over Orlando, though.
That is definitely fair, especially since Brown and Tatum collided with each other at the end of the Portland game. So I don't know who's going to play there. I'm assuming both are still healthy, but keep that in mind.
They're both going for a ball in the outfield. How did that work out?
They were going for a foul late in the game, and they collided knees with each other.
Well, just to I was kidding. I did see it. Brown is out.
Oh, he is out.
Tatum is probable.
Okay. Well, either way, I don't want anything to do with Boston because that team is just painful. But everything we talked about with Denver, you can argue is on steroids with Boston. But I'll tell you one thing I actually do like in the 76er game. I like the first half.
Yeah.
The Sixers have really done an awful job at closing out games against bad teams. They let San Antonio come back. They let Chicago cut it to, I believe, 5 halfway through the fourth quarter. They were dominating the first 24 minutes of both those games.
Yeah.
And Houston is awful. I know that they beat Milwaukee because Kevin Porter had a miraculous 50-point game.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. I think Kevin Porter's a good offensive player. But there's a reason why the game since he's averaging like 16.
He ain't a 50-pointer.
Correct. So he had the game of his life. He dropped 50, which I think is kind of fitting because he reminds me a lot of Brandon Jennings. And Brandon Jennings had that random 50-point game in like his 9th career game.
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of each other. But I think Philly just comes out in the first half and buries this team.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think that's a solid play. I think there's some value there. I was going to see.
I'm trying to think what the first half number will be. Like 9?
What's the spread?
15.
Yeah, 9 sounds pretty damn close.
I think they'll be up double digits at the half.
I'm going to see. Yeah, Philly's 9th in the league in first half scoring. Houston's 24th. Philly puts up 58. Houston puts up about 55. So,
well, in Houston's defense, they're bad in both halves.
Yeah, they're not good, but they are. They're a little bit worse in the second half. So, all right. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
I'd like to see a number on the Wizards Bucks. I think I'm interested in that game.
I don't know what the total is.
Yeah, I want to see both of those numbers.
You think the total's
250?
I was going to say, I don't think it can be 246.5 again.
No.
Then again, that game did land about 296. So back-to-backs are interesting because you have to wonder if Giannis is going to sit. I'd assume not because now they have an actual shot to catch the Nets for the second seed in the East. So I'm assuming Giannis will play. I'm going to go 244.5. And I don't like the under. I'll tell you that much.
The over.
Until Washington plays a low-scoring game again, I gotta like the over in there.
Yeah, you can't. It seems like those totals are ridiculous, but yeah, you got to do it.
Yep.
All right, very good. As always, if you guys are looking for more information on these games or any other games, don't forget to stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com, the number one site in the whole entire world for predictive sports analysis. Always available for you and always free. Winnersandwhiners.com. For myself, for Scott Reichel, and for all of us over here at Winners and Whiners, we appreciate you guys watching today. Wish you nothing but the best of luck. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash moolah back at the window. You guys have a great day. Go eat some tacos, drink some tequila. Designated driver. Hey, designated taco eater too if you need to, all right? Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Stick around. Right around the corner, we'll be doing our MLB show. But that's going to do it for us on this edition of Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.